Elementary School Chorus and the two F-18.
We saw a shot of Olympic medalists. Maybe the last time they heard that song was when they're standing on the podium receiving their gold medals. We'll see who wins the gold medal here today. And welcome back to Atlanta Motor Speedway. We want to get you reset up with the Polaris resetup and Chris Kubota on pit road.
That's right, Rick. It is a Polaris resetup. Now, the big crew chief carousel swinging around at KHI, Kevin Harvick Incorporated. Doug George moves from the 2 truck over to the 33. So far, so good. Doug George up on the pit box, and they're already on the pole in the race 1 for him. Ernie Cope will move over to that truck, the 2 truck today. Butch Hilton will be in charge starting in Martinsville. Meanwhile, Hornaday, he's going to have a setback in race 1. He, along with guys like Kyle Busch, Mike Skinner, Johnny Sauter, some of our contenders had a detrimental Daytona. They are looking to rebound today. And Jeff Bodine is back in a truck with help from the U.S. bobsled team. We had the Olympic medalists with us on the setup. And I know you're jealous. I actually got to hold the gold medal. It is so heavy. And I wanted to tell the guys, I don't have a gold medal, but I did win some ribbons in gymnastics. So not to brag anyway, but you know, this track is so fast and we are going to be on the edge. No one takes it to the edge like the trucks.
Well, thank you, Kristen. And I know people can't see it at home, but Phil stands on a podium every time we do a show. Just want to let you guys know that. So he's always on the podium on the Truck Series. Hey, yesterday, the trucks took the track at 1 o'clock. Have things changed?
They really have. I mean, since their last practice was which at 4 o'clock, there's been almost 2,000 laps run on this racetrack. It's a lot warmer, a lot of rubber down, quite a bit different conditions than what they had yesterday, Mikey.
But the word from the garage area is we love this tire. Goodyear's bought us a tire here we can really go on. They said they can go maybe 20 laps before they're finally out of control. Last year, 4 or 5 laps and they were all sideways. So they're going to have 15 or 20 more laps where they can really like their ride, and then it'll get crazy, that's for sure.
And Hornaday has decided he will start on the outside of row 1, so that moves Kyle Busch to the inside. So it should be an interesting start to this race. Let's get the engines fired.
Here to deliver the most famous words in motorsports, please welcome today's Grand Marshal and Vice President of Sales EZGO, Mike Parkhurst.
Drivers, start your engines!
I love an enthusiastic command, and that's exactly what was delivered. Get the intensity level up before that green flag flies. Stay with us here on Speed. Welcome back to the EZGO 200, the second event of the 2010 season for the Camping World Truck Series. The engines are fired. The trucks are about to roll off of pit road. It is a interesting weather day in Atlanta, 56 degrees. Normally we call it hot Atlanta, but I can't say hot Atlanta at 56 degrees. Although the wind has gone down, it's only 4 miles per hour, so it does feel comfortable outside.
Cool Atlanta.
Cool Atlanta today. It's going to heat up on the track, though.
Yes, and for race fans and these drivers, it's a perfect day. The weather is going to be consistent, Rick, from the time they throw the green to the checker, and that's what those crew chiefs like, Phil. They don't have to be scrambling down there on the pit box as much as they would be if the weather conditions were changing.
Our starting grid rolls across the bottom of the screen, and we want to take a look at our ZMAX track description of this 1.54 mile track.
Incredible racetrack. Back in the middle of 1997, they completely redid this racetrack, flip-flopped it. The back stretch is now the front stretch. They made a quad oval out of it. A great racetrack. You can race from the yellow line you see right of your screen all the way to the safer barrier on the outside.
And I love it. I love what we're getting ready to watch.
Take a look at our Toyota Sponsor race analysis. 36 trucks will be starting just over 200 miles.
These guys will look to see if they can make it maybe somewhere around 55, 60 laps at the most before they need a pit stop. The tires will eventually fall off. We talked about that. They're good tires, but just the abrasive surface that they're racing on here at Atlanta will require those teams after 10, 15, 20 laps, the drivers are going to be wanting some tires, right?
Absolutely.
We want to shine a spotlight on a few different drivers in our speed spotlight, and we're going to start off with Ray Dunlap. Who's in your spotlight, Ray?
Well, Rick, I want to talk about Stephen Wallace. You know, Billy Baloo Motorsports has won 4 times right here at Atlanta. But this weekend is an off weekend for the Nationwide Series. And from about October on, Stephen Wallace has been on an incredible roll, posting a whole bunch of top fives consecutively. I asked him, why in the world make your Truck Series debut this week? He said, because there's no other race, and that's what I want to do. I'm here to race, and I'm here to win. Stephen Wallace in the 15. Adam?
Maryland driver Donnie Neuenberger, Ray, got off to a great start in 2010, finishing 9th at Daytona, an overachieving run for this team, but they nearly missed the race today. He will start 36th in his Easy Slider cylinder liner Chevrolet, hoping to gain some momentum so they can continue their rise in the Camping World Truck Series throughout the 2010 season. Phil?
Double A, I want to take a look at 28-year-old Chris Fontaine from Lakeland, Florida. Chris started racing when he was 16 years old, driving mini cup race cars. He ran some ASA and some other late model series. Getting to this point, watched him make his mark here in the Camping World Truck Series. He's made 16 career starts, including 11 last year. His best finish was 13th at Gateway last year. He starts his best career starting position, 13th today in the Glendon Enterprises Chevrolet. Chris Fontaine looking to move that truck towards the front. Mikey.
Phil, let's shine that spotlight on Brad Sweet. He's starting in 21st. 24-year-old California kid is fast. He's a big winner. If you race USAC, you want to win at Eldora. You want to win at Belleville. You want to win at Knoxville. Check all those off for Brad Sweet. He's won at all those. And here at Atlanta, he's running great. 8th or better in both practices yesterday. He's looking to see if he can get it to the front.
We'll keep track of our speed spotlights throughout the race, and now we want to talk about a few of the drivers that are going to be carrying cameras for us. One of those being Kevin Harvick. He will start in the 4th spot.
We're also going to ride along with Rick Crawford, Circle Bar Truck Corral, back on board this truck. Mr. Mitchell said, Rick Crawford, you need to be in Atlanta. He will start 24th in that Ford.
Kyle Busch is going to start on the inside of row 1 in the Toyota onboard camera. And you talk about a young man that knows how to get it done here in Atlanta. 4 wins. He'll be driving that truck sideways as we race along today. It'll be great shots from inside that Toyota.
And right behind him, starting in the 3rd position, Matt Crafton, last year's runner-up in the points battle between he and Ron Hornaday. We'll have a great shot of, well, the top 4 at least. We've got 3 cameras up there in the top 4. Before the green flag flies, let's go back trackside and hear our thoughts before green. We'll start with Ray.
Well, you know, Rick, we talk about the dominance that Kevin Harvick Incorporated has had in the Camping World Trucks over the last couple of years. Last year, a lot of that had to do with the fact that they built so much new equipment, a whole bunch of trucks on the racetrack for the first ever time. And when Kevin himself was behind the wheel, check out these numbers. 4 times last year he drove a brand new truck. 3 of those were victories. Today, Kevin Harvick in a brand new chassis, number 42. Adam?
Ray, today marks the 2nd race of 2010 for the Camping World Truck Series, but the first of 9 at 1.5 mile racetracks. And that is good news for Todd Bodine because he has been outstanding at these kinds of facilities. Look at the numbers, 49 career starts, 10 times he's gone to victory lane, better than 20%. Bodine starts 10th this afternoon. He likes the way his truck is driving. Perhaps he can get his 11th victory at a 1.5 mile track this afternoon at Atlanta.
Well, this will be not only the 50th start for Todd Bodine, but a 50th anniversary here for Atlanta Motor Speedway. We really want to congratulate Ed Clark and his crew here.
Oh, what a jewel this thing's turned into. I remember coming down here for the first time, Phil, back in 1983 to run my little dash car around here, and certainly changed. Remember all the pine trees that used to sit around the end of the racetracks? We'd come here to test. You'd have to take a blower and blow all the pine needles off the track. Now you got condos and suites everywhere.
How about that qualifying record back in 1997? The first year on this reconfigured track by Jeff Bodine, almost 197.5.
Fireball Roberts has won at this racetrack. Like Skinner, remember we saw they had problems earlier with a clutch situation, so they will have to start at the back, and we saw that they had their hood up before the start of this race. He's catching up to the back of the pack as we're getting ready to get underway. Kyle Busch again on the inside and our pole winner on the outside, and Ron Hornaday